Hi everyone, excuse me, Darleen here from Single Boss Lady. Welcome to week 2 of the root-based chakra. Week 2 is about creativity. So week 1, which you can find, was about connection with the root-based chakra. I'm talking about 3 aspects. As you know, with the chakras, there's lots of aspects. There's all the traditional stuff. I'm doing different things because I'm talking about like the business. And so for personal, it's about psychological stability. So your psychological state being stable. And business, it's about your purpose and boundaries. And with creativity, so let's look at the personal first. So your psychological state. Now, when you're being creative, and as you know, I say creativity is whatever brings you joy. So when you're being creative, especially personally, so ignore the business for a sec, think personally, when you're being creative, when you're doing what brings you joy, then think how that actually affects your psychological state. Now, you remember I said that the psychological state starts in our root-based chakra. We think psychological, yes, it is up here, but it starts here. So creativity, when you're being creative, when you're doing whatever brings you joy, it could be going for a bike ride, like whatever's joy for you, then how do you feel? Don't you feel so much better? The non-helpful thoughts are less, you have more helpful thoughts, all of that beautiful stuff. Because you're doing whatever brings you joy, your psychological state is so much more stable. And if you want to find whatever brings you joy, take out a piece of paper and write down every single thing that brings you joy. And that is your creativity. Now, bringing joy might mean having a beautiful house that's clean and tidy. That's fantastic. If that's what brings you joy, that is creative. I love it when, in the future, I will be having a cleaner come in because I do love my house to be clean and tidy. It just feels really good for me. I love cooking. That brings me so much joy. I made an omelette last night and oh man, was it good. I'm not much of it, was never taught how to cook. I've learned it all myself, and I must admit that there are some meals I do darn well, and an omellette's one of them. It was just amazing. Haven't got that roll thing down, but who cares? It was so good. That brings me joy. Going for a walk brings me joy because I'm out in nature. I'm finding stuff. I'm seeing beautiful things. I'm seeing the river and the ocean and the grass and the birds and everything. That brings me joy. And yes, the traditional stuff that we think creativity is art, that brings me joy as well. Doing these brings me joy because I'm sharing my wisdom. This brings me joy. This feels creative for me. Now, there's other parts that don't feel creative. When I've got to do all the technical stuff, I can do it, but it's not something I love doing. It's, I do it because I want this beautiful message out there, and I want you to do the same. I want you to write down everything that brings you joy. What brings you absolute joy in your life, and do more of it. Because the more that you do things that bring you joy, the more that your psychological state will be more stable. It's just one of those beautiful, beautiful facts. Now, with business, boundaries. When you're being creative, and your boundaries get pushed, you're less likely to react because you're in the joy. You're in the joy when your boundary gets pushed and you're like, that's my boundary. That's what I'm doing. That's it. There's no, you might get a client emailing you, go, you have to get back to me straight away. This is urgent, blah, blah. And it's not. It's not urgent. The only things I consider urgent are emergencies. Emergencies are urgent. When you've got other things, then, like most things that a client wants you for isn't an emergency. So if a client is saying you've got to get back to me immediately, when you're in your creative mode and you see that, because you're in joy, then you're not likely to, push back. You're likely to go, no, actually, I'm not even going to respond at all because my clients know this is when I respond. This is when I'll reply to that email. And it feels so amazing when you're able to, when someone pushes your boundaries, when you're able to actually go, you know what, no, I'm just going to sit here in that beautiful, beautiful joy. I'm just not going to allow it to affect me. And then I'm going to respond. Because if you're not in a place of joy or love or anything like that, and someone pushes your boundaries, you react. And that's what happens, you react. Whereas when you're in a much better place, your psychological state is better, and you're in that joy, you're in that creativity, then when someone pushes your boundaries, you respond. And that means that you take those beautiful 3 deep breaths, and what that does, it gets more oxygen back into your body, into your brain, so that you actually are in a happier place. The more oxygen in our brain, the more that our happy hormones are released. That's why going outside and being in the sun releases the happy hormones. That's why being creative, being in joy releases the happy hormones, so that when someone pushes your boundaries, it's like, yeah, whatever. So you're actually responding, not reacting. And it's a much better place to respond than to react. When you react, it's a real heightened thing, and you're coming from, the emotions that are not helpful. So, all those beautiful emotions are great. Yet when they're not helpful, that's when we react, and we're likely to fight back. And, we can lose clients and that over that. Respond instead of reacting. It's a better place, and that's why the creativity helps you be able to do that. Now, when we look at the purpose of our business, remember in week 1 of this chakra, I said that, what is the purpose of your business? Why did you start it? And when you want to review all that, be in that creativity. Bring that joy in, and then look at the purpose of your business. You might be feeling a bit flat at the moment. Things might have happened. You might have lost a bit of fire and passion. And this is a great time to look at your business. You bring in the creativity, and then you look at your business and go, okay, what purpose do you have, business? What is it about you that is so amazing? What are you doing for me, and what are you doing for my clients? Why did I actually start you? Is that still the reason that I want it to be, or do I need to change that around? It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So let me recap. Oh dear, excuse that. Recap. You can see I don't edit any of these. It's just, this is me. This is who you get. I'm being authentic. Now, let's look at personal. Personal was our psychological state, the stability of it. Being creative helps our wow. Being creative brings in that joy, which helps our psychological state. It helps it to be more stable. In our business, we've got boundaries and purpose. When we're in creativity, when we're in that joy, when someone pushes our boundaries, we respond instead of reacting. And we're actually looking at the purpose of our business. Bring in that joy, the creativity, bring it in, and then look at your business. What is the purpose? Why is it so important that you started that business? Is that still the importance, or has it changed? Because things do actually change in our business. The reason we started it's changed. The purpose of our business can change. All of that is amazing. And don't allow yourself to be bogged down going, oh, it's all changed. Doesn't matter. Embrace that change and go, oh, this is exciting. Now what is the purpose of my business? Now what is the direction of my business? Absolutely amazing when that happens. And that is a beautiful week 2 of the root base chakra. Next week we'll be talking about abundance in the root base chakra with these 3: the psychological state, the stability, the boundaries, and the purpose. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.